Okay, let's try this again and wait on standby for the signal. For this part of the live stream video is now being prepared to go on the set by continuing in the full walkthrough. Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. We're back for part 56 in the full walkthrough of the Crew 2. Since the last video from part 55, the USB Tour West Edition in Stage 1 after the Black Hill Special along with 4 street racing event is now actually to be doing well and go by the differences with the same location between in the East and the West. Unfortunately, by having one previous Motor Pass vehicle as I've been using in the Lancia Delta S4 Hoodlum Racing Crew Edition in the USST West Edition is always meant to have my best recommend to go for the start. So according to the icon level that I just recently took and moving on in 2705. In today's video, as I'm about to be ready to go over to be at Glacier Park to have 3 hovercraft events to be located right over here onto the same title along with some 2 events like the Squad X and Tiger Tonic event. But don't forget, because I just got everything that I just need to be planned to go proceed as well to have the Yellowstone Special for Rallycross Discipline and continue to take stage number 2 of the USB Tour West by using Rally Raid from mountains of the Glacier Park and go over to be at the Salt Lake City Resort. Just to have a very good place to be here to be driving on the wilderness. So I had to be ready because 3 hovercraft events is waiting for me to have a good time to be here to be zoom in on the location of the map. Each part of the corner layout is now being separate to have each kinds of position is now yet to be well placed. So this one is quite very good to have a curved straightaway. The second one is going to be a bit more twisted to have some figure circuit to be crossing around on the water and land. But this time I'll have to start out first, and this time this will have to take on normal difficulty before the prologue is I'm about to be ready to enter it. So here I come. Enter the zone on the event and wait for Tuck Morgan to be ready to join in. I'm about to be set and good to roll. So all the practice just barely paid off and just gonna have to go over onto the starting grid in about 10 seconds to be here. But eventually the handling is still a bit more loosened up, so I had to tame it and go for having a 1 slip of skill to be riding on the land and water. So off I go and let's do this. This part of the track is gonna be a bit more open on the land and water. So I have to keep a good watchful eye out on the opponents because this is where the hovercraft event is going to be continued after the introduction of Gator Rush. But still yet to be using with a Proto XT3 from the Mutual Benefit Rival event, but still going to have to take much more possible chance to go increase. Gonna have to be on the high speed. Several opponents are yet to be usual. Come on. I'm at the 5th. Just going to be finished at least 3rd place. Okay, that's good. Gonna have to keep a good, stable condition to be on the line. Oh yeah. Keep that XT3 to be good in hovercraft style.
How's the air up there in first?
It's doing well, Tuck. Doing well and riding freely. Oof. Talk about having a contact in the bumper cars. Come on, just gonna keep a good hold together. this is definitely a bit more crazier to be expected. Alright, third place is now going at it on the main objective. So I have to get back in first. Water drip around and kick the nitro. Alright, that's the good one. But yet, unfortunately, the arrows is I'm about to keep a good forward direction, so I just don't want to get any confusion. So the second lap is about to be getting closer. One more lap to go. 66% in the progression and stay in the defense. But I cannot believe that this part of the corner turn is a bit more challenging to do some right direction to keep a good hold the line on the defense. But it might be going a bit more easier to see some good advantage when using hovercraft. There goes the jump, touchdown on the water, and left turn by the checkpoint clear. Alright, keep a good riding around and go cruising in style. But yet apparently, because I just recently brought 2 hovercraft vehicles in today's segment, is all about to try it out with some differences to be experienced. So I just got the Bumblebee X and the XK armor as part of the Season Pass exclusive. So there you go. Finish line and cleared by 3 minutes, 17.599 seconds. Impressive. So good and impressive. Just gonna have to go and become like a true hovercraft pro champion. But yet, of course, this will have to take the time to get back over onto the highlighted location for the next event. If either it's going to be on the Tiger Tonic or the Squall X event, as Tucker Tuck Morgan and Sophia is about to be ready to step in. Good water speed record, and let's get back over. Now let's switch the event and go by details.
Most people think of a hovercraft as a military vehicle. Truth is, though, when they built the first one, the military didn't want it. Didn't see a use. I guess some things don't have to be useful to be worth it.
Definitely that it was used to be as a military vehicle. But of course, because that might have to be turned out to become as the entertainment to have some different models for only one seater in the hovercraft. So, as I'm about to show you guys something that just automatically brought the Proto XK Armor 2018 is now good to go by a starter to be at the max level on 80 that brings out 297 horsepower and top speed 97 miles per hour. Very much more fine, decent unlike the XT3 and other hovercraft vehicles made by Proto. But this one is the American model, so I'm about to test this baby out and give it a good faster on the go. So let's turn this engine on and proceed to the starting grid. Can't admit the handling looks so similar like the XT3 to be on the same spot. But it'll have to give it much more well tested to be prepared. So, on my mark, get set, and swip, and hit the water. Ooh, very tough to be on the wide open. This one is going to be a bit more challenging to be on the speedway with some 2 terrains altogether. So I bet there might be having some 2 choices, gonna have to go left or right. Very much more impressive like using the XT3. Unfortunately, it might have the same amount of handling to go by rarity choice. If you already got this one as part of the Season Pass exclusive without using bucks or crew credits, this one is now available for free to be using with real cash. So gonna have to take it once, splash in the water after a touchdown on the land. Moving on in the second lap. I kind of admit I might gonna have to take a good look to switch inside to this interior view. Looks so very nice and very built to be riding on the most expression to be filled the off-road to go freedom on the race. But some say that hovercraft is a tool of the military vehicle that could be using on any important priority missions. But until then, this is how Proto just actually to build these hovercrafts for entertainment. Only for competition, and that could be a bit more rub around to be well tested that you might need to keep this hovercraft on good mid condition. But it takes practice, so you might need to get it right. Okay, gonna have to take that touchdown on the land. Get back in. Dirt lap coming around. Yeah, looks like the RPM is doing well on the good speed position. So gonna have to coming up onto the next checkpoint as 85% progression cleared. Hairpin turn on the way onto the off-road. Kick that puppy up. Downhill and go for the straight line jump. Touchdown and full stretch. Nice. Very good to ace that SK armor, and 3 minutes to have 2 seconds with a decimal of 0.149. Alright, looks like more loot to be dropping in, so I'll have to get back on to the final event to be at the Tiger Tonic event. But in that case, it's been already finished to be checked here and now as being reminder. So hopefully I might have to take one good best activity to go by 2 skills available for my free time. Okay, Squad X event is finished, and let's move on in Tiger Tonic. So you see, by having same location with 3 different track layouts on land and water are being yet to be positionized and go organized to see how the competition is built to be well entertained. For the third hovercraft vehicle is I'm about to go for the 2018 Proto Bumblebee X to be on the same per level with 306 horsepower and top speed 96 miles per hour. You may remember this one from the Live Summit event as I've been ever tried out to go experience. So, it's definitely much more similar to be riding in a jet ski. So next location is now at the different starting grid. Okay, just gonna stay right here and place it along with the rest of the group. So let's go fast and feel lighter. I hope the blue nitro is going to be a bit more well styled in type. But the corners are built to be having some differences to be well tricky and more lighter. Okay, looks like this is going to be a bit more rub around to keep a good hold the line. Come on. This is going to be a bit more crazy if I really have to tame the Bumblebee X. Okay, drop down to be in 6. Hold that line steady and handling. Oh boy, deer coming in and a fox interrupting on the race. Well man, see? Just like when you're riding in a jet ski is going to be a bit more extreme that you might need to tame it. decide to stay on track and go for first place. There's Eli coming up in the lead. But there's going to be having one good trick. One little trick and have the shortcut that you might need to do for having a one good special surprise. Gonna have to cross the bridge and get back on the land. Okay, that could be a bit more challenging. Alright, looks like first place, then drop down to second. But there's going to be having takebacks. This race and the track on the Tiger Tonic event is what you need to be masterful. Great. Checkpoint missed. Why do I even forgot about it? Darn it. Looks like it come down to be in the final lap. That might have to take one step of reminder that you might need to use the shortcut as your main advantage. So gonna have to get back up and go for the boost of nitro. Okay, no animals allowed on the track when racing. Gonna have to catch up to Eli and then one deer pass by to see it. Okay. Time to drop the hammer and go the next checkpoint right over here on this spot. So let's go, 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 and take the finish line and clear. Whew. That was a close one, folks. Definitely a close call to have 3 minutes 36.083 seconds when you're on first place that you need to get back on the track. So that makes 3 hovercraft events to be checked and done. Then let's go and have a quick switch to be on powerboat to go around on the glacier park in the lake. Fast paper to be switched onto the Foucher 1414 Demon. Search around and go explore. Alright, so I guess that might have to take a good first step to have the Solemn, as I'm about to be putting up with some preparation on Live Summit event later on throughout each future events. But I maybe prefer to go by the opposite to have that good forward direction right over here. Just gonna have to turn around and start enter the gate. Okay, Solemn the gates, here I go, and have the line to be well checked. This definitely looked like a figure 8 circuit on the water, but there's the yacht to be passed by parking in. Okay, looks like that's definitely might have to do my condition to be required to do some rehearsal. So on to attempt 2. Nope. Attempt number 3. Okay, that's better. Gonna have to keep a good line of sight. Slow and steady. Have the score to be checked and apply. Okay, good sight of the line, and have that next point of the Solemn to be entered in, and 1 second remaining. So that's 22,726 points. Glacier Park Solemn skill is 85% complete. So maybe I'll have to get over onto the next spot of the lake to be at the buoy smashing. So don't forget, you might need to have the skill to be entered to have one part of the solemn to be entered around to have the main points to get yourself improved. So definitely I might have to go and do the opposite to have that perfect open view. But it's about to get bigger, but larger to have some green buoys. Will be doing a bit more bid opportunity to have some score point that you need to be practiced for every live summit event in every week. Okay, going apply by having a good total score point. That's 50,000. Gonna turn around and get back in. 5 seconds. Aha! That's very good. Over 70,000 points added with 2,703 points. This skill is definitely my practice ground for this live summit event to be upcoming. So that's 3 hovercraft events check. 2 skills on Glacier Park with the solemn and buoy smashing. Time for me to get back onto the world map and go over to have the special in Yellowstone for the USB Tour West and stage number 2 for Rally Raid. Gonna have to get back over to have the good place to be in Wyoming, located in Yellowstone. Perfectly to be highlighted to have a good station point, to have a starting line, to have a 1 sprint course for having a rally time attack. I guess gonna have to be switch vehicle to be get back in onto the Hoodlum Racing Crew Edition to the Lancia Delta S4. Go by the filters in brand. Alright, looks like I'll have to stick it onto the same per level like last time. Just give me a moment to have my eyes remove all the tears for all that sweat. So here I go. Time attack and special stage rally for only 1 rallycross vehicle. So up I go and hit the nitro.
The USB Tour West Special Number 2 is set in Yellowstone Park, world famous for its bursting geysers, glacial lakes, and hot springs. Our hot-headed racers will need to keep their cool if they wish to burst ahead.
You know clearly what's something else to be excited in Yellowstone? The hot springs and some cold glaciers and even the Old Faithful geyser. Definitely, this is definitely might have the most finest landmark in America to see some most iconic nature. To see the environment is always about to have a good natural forest environment. But even of course to have the mixture between with some good luscious grass and snow all together when entered for having a good Yellowstone rally race event. And that's how this is where a time attack event is going in to have rallycross vehicle to test your skill and leave your mark. So I'll have to keep a good eyes on the trail of the dirt. The line is your best friend. But it's about to get more shady because a bit more time to go cool down as we still kick it up into the hot gear. So gonna have to go crossing in on half of the spot of the snow. Still yet to be in the fall season, and we still yet to be available to be participate on the USST time attack events. So last update on the gap, check to be seen in around 23 seconds. Alright, very good drift. Stay on the line of sight, as we're about to have a good position to be on a wide hairpin. Okay, that's the dirt hairpin on the downhill slope. Checkpoint mark, and curb straightaway, off I go. Oof. Okay, that was a tough, close call. Now, this one is going to be a few consecutive hairpins on the downhill. So you guys might need to do that skill when you're using any rallycross vehicle to go by all-wheel drive. Very yet to be of course, but that will have to take much more concentration to get in for having a faster time to go well improved. Or anything else that would be doing a bit more impossible to set by a new record. Okay, checkpoint clear. Almost to be at 80%. 20 more to go. Very more impressive to go down the hill on Yellowstone, but we have several houses is still yet to be around to be seen. I bet the neighbors are really love to see some rallycross vehicle to go in action. Okay, good recovery, check, and stay drifting on the dirt.
Coming up to the arrival line soon now, which driver will master the record?
Okay, for the last stretch, the shortcut is a bit more optional that you might need to beat by under 4 minutes. So clearly, a decimal of 0.250 in 4 minutes is now being set by original. But after all, it's a very good time attack event in Yellowstone, so very good time to be proceed on to stage number 2, as I'm about to have a very good, excellent previous Motor Pass vehicle, but not the Mazda MX-5 Rally Raid Edition, but that will have to take a Spear Hog Racing Edition is now being set and good to go. Back to the options and go with the Rally Raid. So very good thing that every last week is now setting up on the date schedule for the return of the previous Motor Pass exclusive vehicle. So by the way, just going to get over onto the filters to choose a very good recommend car. Ah yes. Per level by 140 in 504 horsepower and top speed 148 miles per hour. But good thing I'm just waiting for this moment, you guys. I'm about to be ready to join in and get back on the map to be entered at the start of stage number 2 in Rally Raid for the USST West. So Glacier Park and go to Salt Lake City at the ski jump. This is where the MX-5 Rally Raid Roadster to have some different set with some fender wide body modification, headlights stick up, and the light bar on the rooftop with some roll bar cages is now being well applied for. So gonna have to kick it up to see how the Roadster will be doing a good time to be in the right start.
Here comes stage number 2 of US Speed Tour West. From the wilderness of Montana's Glacier Park to urban Salt Lake City, Utah.
Since then, after having a one stop by at Yellowstone in Wyoming, Glacier Park is actually to be located in the state of Montana to go all the way to be follow the route to be head over to be at Salt Lake, Utah to be highlighted to be pinpoint at the ski resorts. This is how we've been come here once, and we're about to come here to be yet participate again along with the new players who are just really want to do some experience to be played in the crew too. So gonna to go drive faster and lighter because this fully modified MX-5 Rally Raid Roadster is built for having a good time attack event off the road. So I'll be coming on the Rally Raid as I go. I'll be rally racing off I go right now. So very good to have a nice race to be here in Glacier Park for having stage number 2. But look over there on the snowy mountains as we're about to take a good scenic on the tour. Choose any direction whenever you like to pick. Okay, go with off-roading drift. By having the most ghost lap time record set was the Hummer H1 Alpha in the Evolution 2 version. But very good to be seen by earlier ago before the start of the race. But it'll have to be challenging up to see some inside corners and doing outside when you're off the road. So the checkpoint is going clear, almost at the halfway point in 50%. Okay, here comes the best part. Climbing up the hill and go down the hill faster. But it'll have to be more challenging that you might have to go faster in over 150 miles per hour to save enough speed and go climb up to have that platform right over there before reaching up on top of the mountain to be right past over to be arriving from the state of Montana and go to the state of Utah where the ski resort is coming for me to have a best time to be highlighted at the finish line. But it's like a roller coaster in a rally raid car, but better have your brake position to be prepared, manage your strategy, and this will be doing one heck of a ride. .75% progression is coming well. Dirt trail is on the route. After leaving Montana, now I have arrived in Utah to be going forward to be on the outskirts of Salt Lake City, right next to be at the ski resort. But the forest and the environment is about to be going up to have a change of condition, might be a bit more darker. The shade actually does have the time to go cool down. Alright, here we are and arriving at the ski resorts. Just gonna have to go there and be prepared to be moving on into the next video. Just as before, I might have to say this because very much more impressive to have a good time attack event.
The last stretch before reaching Salt Lake City, where so many land speed records were set. Which driver will set this stage's record?
And there you go. 4 minutes, 33.335 seconds is good to go by the original. Thank you MX5 Spearhawk Racing Edition, and that is very much more fine impressive if I really might need to have the Sparrow Competition Edition to the Pontiac GTO to judge by next week. So much so good to see how having a best time to be in the state of Montana and Wyoming to have two states to be all together. But I mean, take a good look to be having a last scene on the world map is now actually to be checked and go currently to be having some good requirement to be put up to be removed onto the new title. So I guess that's 3 hovercrafts, 2 skill on the water base, 1 for the rallycross in Yellowstone, Wyoming, and stage number 2 from the Montana state to Utah, as I'm about to be ready to go to be moving up onto the special. We'll be at Jackson to have a rallycross event and stage number 3 of the USST West by using Alpha Grand Prix discipline. But somehow, I bet I just already took some few other events as I'm about to be ready to go to wrap this up at the end of the content video. So I bet this will have to take a good placement to be here to be on the Canyon and St. George in the next video before moving up to have the best forward to be here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'll have to leave it to myself, and more new events as I'm about to be saved for later to be scheduled later on throughout each part of the full walkthrough that related to have all the Motorflix updates on every season. So, thank you for enjoying watching the video in the Crew 2 folks. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Don't forget to check it out on any social media platforms like Deepnet Art, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Patreon, Discord, and more to see for my image artwork like UDRS liveries, Vision Total Drama fan art with card liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time for continue on in the full walkthrough of the Crew 2, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.